Hello, hello. Welcome again to another Age of Empires stream, another Brick Division quarterfinals. Casted one of these yesterday, and the quarterfinals are coming in, the games are coming in thick and fast. So, need to make sure I am able to cast as much as possible because these quarterfinals, people are going to snap them up. So, here I am again, Sunday night, casting some more games. We're going to be casting RealTHF versus Chedda. So this is going to be an interesting one, and I should say right off the bat that when I did my analysis for the group stage, I thought Pelican was going to get in instead of Chedda. But Chedda actually had a set to play, and he 3-0'd his opponent, John the Phil, and overtook Pelican, pipped him at the post, and got into the quarterfinals. So he just snuck in there. And I want to apologize to Chedda and say, sorry I didn't believe in you to make it to the quarterfinals, but here you are. So welcome. I'm happy. The Pelican avatar is amazing, but I think the Chedda avatar is even better. So I'm not mad about it. Good to show off this Chedda villager again. Now, I actually didn't mention it last time, but RealTHF, I didn't explain the villager last time I cast his set in the group stage. So RealTHF, as far as I'm aware, means Real Trigger Happy Family, THF. I looked at Urban Dictionary and I thought, what is THF? I don't know what that means. And apparently it might mean Trigger Happy Family. So I've dressed him up with as a gangster, with the bandana and the special gold chain. But apologies to RealTHF, that's not what your name means. That was my best guess and best interpretation of it. So, yeah. I'm actually going to try and get up the final standings because I think that would be quite good for context. So if you just bear with me for 1 second, I want to get up Group D. And apologies, I'm going to cover my face here for a little bit as well. So Group D, we have, like I said, Chedda coming in second with maps 7 and 5, beating Pelican 6 and 6. So again, thought Pelican had it, but it wasn't the case. Thank you, Panther Maximus. Good to have you around. Good to see you here. Love to see a new face around, so thank you very much. And please type in the chat, let me know who you are, and we can start a dialogue. But yes, in this last game down here, John the Phil versus Chedda. Chedda beats him 3-0, and that's how he gets the 7-5. So before that, he had a score of 4 and 5. So I kind of assumed he wasn't going to get it, but he made it. So well played, very well played. And here we are. Also, I thought it might be worth looking at is the final winners bracket for the division. Again, I'm gonna... Oh, Alpha Sinus, great to see you. Very good to see you. I hope you enjoy the casting, and glad to have you with us. I'm just going over the winners bracket. Your group was very, very close. Very, very close. You, Back in Black, and Jazzercise really duking it out there for that final spot. So you were in a tough group for sure. Yes. So we yesterday we did Kafoogle Back in Black. So well, apologies if there's any spoilers here, but Kafoogle beat Black in Black, a really close set. But Kafoogle moves on. Kafoogle beats him 3-2. Winnie, Maddie, and Alpha Crit have already played. I haven't casted, and Back in Black is going to cast that, so I'm not going to spoil that one. Because it'll be cast tonight by him, and I'll do a raid into his channel, I think, for that set. And St. Arnulf and Gare Bear, I think this is a heavyweight division type matchup here. They're playing later tonight as well, so all of these should be wrapping up. RealTHF and Chedda have already played, so I'm casting it in retrospect. But I will just say, going into this, I think RealTHF would be the favourite. I saw a little bit of unevenness from Chedda in his group stage, and I thought RealTHF, even though they've come away with the same map score, I just think his ceiling was so high. He was just so on point in the set that I cast against Pasta, I think it might have been. No, sorry, it was against Can't Touch Me. RealTHF versus Can't Touch Me. He was just so on point, so good. And that really impressed me. So I'm going to say RealTHF is the favorite, but I'll be happy to be surprised. Well, very open to being surprised. Just get that out of the way. So, yes, with no more ado, I'm going to start the set. So let's get into it. And sorry, I should say, we're going to start with the draft. And there we go. We've got the draft working, which is great. Yes. So sorry, I should go for the maps first because that's what people pick first. We've got RealTHF going for Shoals and Zong. So these to me are quite long maps. Zong obviously being the most closed map in the draft, but Shoals can play quite long as well because you're far away from your opponent. You've got that big ocean in between you. It's going to be hard to navigate that, get around the sides. Castle Age, you're fighting for the side gold. So that can play quite long as well. So RealTHF, long map player perhaps. Chedda, going for Evacuation and going for Kilimanjaro. So Evacuation, I think, is a great pick for Chedda because I think he wants to go for some unexpected plays and catch the enemy off guard. So I think they'll play nicely into his hands. Kilimanjaro, that can go either way. It could be long, could be short. So we'll see how he plays that. Not quite sure how that map plays out. Cross, I think it also plays into Chedda's hands with going for something unpredictable, maybe a sneak dock, perhaps. Real pond kind of play. That would be quite good from him. But RealTHF is a really on-point player, so I think he can manage the handling of land and water at the same time. That goes for Evacuation as well. So, yeah, interesting picks. The Civs, guys, Dravidians. I've been calling for Dravidians for a long time. I haven't seen it much in this competition. I want to see it here because I think it's so good, either on Cross or Evacuation. I think it's going to be amazing. I hope RealTHF pulls that out. So that's the first thing I see. But Japanese, also a good Cross or Evacuation map. Byzantines, also the same. with the fire ships. I think a better pick on 4 lakes, actually, where the fire ships really, the strength of the Byzantine fire ships really comes into play. And then Burgundians, I think, are these long, you're going to see that on Zong, I think, definitely. Or as well, you've got Khmer as well, who are also great on Zong. But I think it's going to be either one of these on Zong. But actually, I haven't even thought about shoals. Maybe it's Byzantines on shoals, Japanese on cross, Dravidians on evacuation, something like that. But I love that he's got those hybrid civs in there. For Chedda, I think Malians is a great pick for all these hybrid maps. Your buildings cost less wood. That's going to help with docks. I think that's a great pick. Italians, almost guaranteed on shoals. It's so good on shoals. And we've seen it over and over and over again on shoals, and I think we're going to see it again. Malay, however, also very good on shoals. Just because that fast uptime, you can get that early water advantage if you get to feudal first. I think that's a really big power spike for them. So I think we could see that on shoals, but I would preference Italians there. Vietnamese could be a cross. Civ and Lithuanians could go for the relic on Zong, perhaps. And Romans, just trying to think, just let me think about the maps once more. Kilimanjaro, haven't really thought that much about, to be honest. Maybe it's there, and maybe Lithuanians on Kilimanjaro as well. But all of these are really great bands. All of these civs have been really strong in the competition. Maybe not Ethiopians, but the rest, these are just powerhouse kind of civs. So I think really, really smart bands here for both players. And at quarterfinal stages, you need to have your bands on point. So good stuff there. All right, we shall get into the game. Live scene. There we go. So cross was the admin pick, and we'll get it going. All right, yep, that sound is coming through. Always got to check my settings at the start of the stream to make sure it's all working, and I think we're good. You guys will let me know, of course, if that is not the case. But we've got Chedda in the Vietnamese, which I think is a fine civ pick. Just purely because of the lack of wood you have to spend on your upgrades, you can get all your upgrades while also going for docks. Getting the upgrade doesn't impact your ability to get docks up and fishing ships up. I think it's a good bonus on 4 lakes or cross. I don't think it's the best civ though, if I'm being totally honest, but I do remember Chedda loves to go for his archer civs, so that really plays into his style. RealTHF going for Japanese, and I believe we've seen him play Japanese before on a different map, so this is a bit of a comfort pick for him. And I think it's the best civ for cross. That early advantage you get, these camps costing less wood enables you to, look, he's got 100 wood in the bank opposed to 50. He's going to get that dock up way quicker, way quicker. And that's just such a crucial advantage on a map like 4 lakes. I keep on calling it 4 lakes, guys. It is 4 lakes. I know it's slightly different. But it's basically the same map. If I'm being honest, I can't even remember what the difference is. All I know is that it's slightly different. I don't know how different. But we see the villager going for the dock already. making its way over, ready for, got 190 wood, so that's great. Pigs found. This villager also either going for the boar or the dock. Going for the boar, so again, Japanese, just amazing on 4 legs. Getting that dock up this quickly as opposed to this quickly gives you a really good advantage. He is housed. It is hard to manage somewhat. Because if you get the dock up that early, you need to get the house down as well. But Cheddar also housed, so he's not optimizing that necessarily either. Actually, underrated bonus for Vietnamese. You know where that town center is, which means you know where the dock is. So that kind of plays into the aggressive play style that I think we'll see from Cheddar. And you're actually going to see the scout run over there, maybe expecting the villager to start coming out to make the dock. But Japanese, of course, get there much, much earlier. And he's going to find no villager. Wow, actually, that villager could have been sniped, potentially, but he didn't actually see it in the fog of war, so that's really unfortunate from Cheddar. But yeah, dock's coming out now for Cheddar. Next to the bot turtles. I was talking about this to my co-caster Liv yesterday. It's a very sad, I feel so wrong fishing the box turtles, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do in Age of Empires. So 3 fishing boats out to 0 for Cheddar. Again, showing the strength of that bonus. And 19 eco to 24. That's pretty, that's not nothing, especially in Dark Age. So RealTHF really playing he's optimizing the city. He's optimizing it, and you got to optimize the in quarterfinals. The margins between these players are so thin. You got to play the margins, and he's doing it great. I might even expect to see a villager start looping now because we're in feudal. Well, we've actually got a quicker feudal time for Cheddar. But then again, I don't know if he is going to go for that aggressive play. I just have a hunch. And I feel like if that's one way to take advantage of Japanese, if they get this big lead in fishing boats and invest so much in fishing boats, you might want to take him down. You might want to take the fishing boats down, but instead he's going to go for the archery range, which we would expect out of the Vietnamese player. He's got Bidax already because, again, does not take any wood to do that upgrade. So the Vietnamese bonus coming into play now, just a bit later than the Japanese one. And we're going to see an archery range for the Japanese. This is a very different set to the one I covered last night. Every single game was stable versus stable. And now we have archery range versus archery range. So loving the variety between each of these players, or well, not these 2 particular players, but the players in the competition. It'd be interesting to see how many lakes each of these players take. We didn't see much of a lake contest between the last 2 players. They kind of went all land, and only took their respective lakes. But I do have my eye on this villager. Gonna see a sneak. We're gonna see a sneak. That scout's not gonna see her. Archer's coming across the map as well. Skirmish is in preparation, so RealTHF has scouted this. Gonna go in for blacksmith as well. This villager is gonna wall. Not gonna matter, because that villager is gonna sneak on by. But he's going straight for these berries. It is only 3 archers. That villager is gonna go down though. This is very reminiscent of the match that I saw him win in the last set. He did win that, or lose that 2-1, but the match he did win in that set was something very similar to this. This scout is on stand ground, which is very unfortunate. Might need to bring his scout back, but he is taken off this wood line. These stragglers were already taken before, so not many stragglers. He's going to actually put up another lumber camp here. He's going to go back to these berries. These archers have fletching as well, so it's not nothing. And we see quite slow reactions here from RealTHF, but he's actually dealing with this as well. So a lot of inefficiencies here, and actually 2 dead villagers now as well. So this is really tough, and 2 archers here. A lot of idle time. A gate, okay. Another dead villager. So this pressure is really getting to him. He is focusing over here with this dock, but there's nothing coming out of there though. Running back here, don't see any. I mean, the most crucial thing is the army. Where is the army? Skirmishers coming out. More blood on the field. There's just archers in every single direction. These villagers are going to come back here. Straight back into archer fire. There's people inside the town center, people waiting here. We see the worker efficiency, it was at 15%, and we're up to 6 eco kills. These villagers treating these villagers taking a different shift now on the archer fire, but we do have skirmishers behind the tree line killing an archer, so that's huge. Still nothing out of the dock, so that's being wasted, and more standing around. More standing around. Standing here. We've got a waypoint set here. A lot is going to be killed here now, though. 2 archers gone, and this archer is nearly dead. I feel like he was the first archer targeted right at the start of this raid, and he has survived, so... Whew, that is a lot of pressure. That was a lot of pressure, and there's 3 archers back here that I even forgot about, and they're going to be taken down too, eventually. This villager deciding to attack that villager, and we actually see those fishing ships go down now, so there's a bit of retribution there. Guys, this is chaos. This is absolute chaos. And these archers are going to regroup. But behind all of this, Chedda is going to castle. I said at the start, guys, I thought Chedda was going to have, is going to play into chaos, and that's exactly what we've seen. So this has been all chaos. All chaos. And even we see another archer on these berries, which has been the killing zones. But I feel like there's been some stabilization now. This archer going to go down. This village is still alive. Fishing ships out of this dock now as well. No contest here for Chedda there. This village has just been a real nuisance. Nobody on gold. I guess he's trying to rush. Doesn't need the gold because he's got enough for castle age. He's just trying to get up the castle with the food there. But this is definitely contestable here from Chedda if he wants it. An outpost here for RealTHF. Quite an obvious one. Could have set that a little bit back to be out of sight a bit. But decides not to. But yikes, Chedda is in castle in about 5 seconds and RealTHF hasn't clicked up yet. And there's still archer mass on the field. And Chedda's gonna keep up with the archers. Just 2 archer production, but he's gonna go for the siege workshop. Oh, all of these villages are definitely gonna die. These villages there's still a lot of inefficiencies here. And we're up to 12 eco kills. And guys, these skirmishes just haven't been in the right position throughout the game. They've just been in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Stable coming in here to deal with these skirmishes perhaps. Mangonel. So we're going to see quite a heavy push here. And I think that's great. And these are actually turned into crossbows. So this is a real issue. Oh, and now these skirmishers have moved away and left this exposed. And elephants. So I think elephants is really strong on cross and elephant civ. Because you can really go for this castle age push when the enemy's not expecting it. And it's going to see the pressure start right now. And actually, where are all of these skirmishes are in the TC? Guys, why are they in the TC? That's confusing to me. I would be trying to track these archers. Well, I would have before the mangonel got there. Now it's a little more dangerous. We do have knights potentially in the back of the base, which he's got the outpost here. So this could be great, but how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this, and how do you deal with this elephant? Do have some pikemen coming in for the elephants, which is, I think, a great addition. The main threat is right here, though. How do you stop this? Because if this TC goes down, these villagers come out to repair, get hit by a mangonel shot. I just wonder, does THF, he must know that these skirmishers are in here, surely. They're not being upgraded. Yeah, here they come. They haven't been upgraded to elite skirmisher though. Where is this knight as well? I'm not sure. It looks like he has died. Do some split micro there to avoid mangonel shots. He didn't really commit to that though, and this TC is definitely going to go down. Yeah, I feel like if you were going to go for that knight play, you need it at home. Because how do you stop this? I think he's in trouble. I think he's in real trouble. Chedda is undisturbed at home. It is equal in terms of villager count, but all the pressure is here. All the inefficiencies been on RealTHF's side. This mangonel has come out too late. Could save it here, but that TC is just too late. Just too late. And now he's going to redirect to the archers, but got a wood line back here. Elephant's going for... This needs to target this mangonel. Gets it, and I think that's it. Like, I think that's good night. Because where is this TC? How are you going to get villages? Doesn't have the wood for another TC either. could go into more fishing ships if you need to continue building eco, but that's not an efficient play. In the long run, at least. And actually, oh, hits 2 siege units at the same time. Gets the repair on the mangonel though. Finally, we see elite skirmisher. Much too late though. TC's coming up here at the back. I mean, it's going to be a miracle if he can pull this off. The red collector is in Chedda's favor to the extreme. Now we need to see some good mangonel shots here from both players. This elephant should run for this mangonel, and that if that goes down, that's a problem. And you know, Vietnamese archers, no joke. They, even though there are skirmishes on the field, these archers have more hit points, of course, being Vietnamese. Second TC being built. This knight is going to kill some villagers out the back, which is unfortunate. However, these archers, these skirmishers, doing a great job. This is not being taken care of. These elephants can, of course, you know, just a few more elephants and these skirmishers are useless. Another mangonel coming out. So if that tower goes down, that's going to be an issue. Looks like the knight does die. But knights are still coming out here. He thinks they're coming in around the back though. And yes, sorry, we should see, he doesn't know that that is back there. Still has quite an archer mass. He's dodging, well, he was dodging those shots. He should just put them on stand ground back here and disrupt this wood line. This tower does have bodkin, so it is a bit of a tough sell to disrupt that. This mangonel needs to come across here and take out, well, maybe take out the siege workshop. I think that's fine. Take out the siege workshop and then go for the tower. Spearman coming out here to deal with any knight play. We actually see RealTHF has taken out 14 villagers, and RealTHF actually has the villager lead, which is very surprising. Has got 2 TCs up as well, and Chit has a huge idle TC time, which is the main reason why we are seeing a bit of a lead there for him, for RealTHF I mean. And I feel like he was kind of baited into that death there. And actually Chit is kind of stalling out. He's kind of stalling out. I will say though, there's much more balance here on Chedda's economy. There's 16 on wood for RealTHF, which is not great, and only 6 on food. So I would still say advantage to Chedda. This is going to be taken out. Again, we don't see any. There's been much too chaotic to have contest on these other 2 lakes. And I feel like if you're Chedda, you need to go somewhere else because nothing's happening here. Obviously something is happening elsewhere, and he's going to do just that. He sees the TC here, and I should have mentioned actually that Blue has gone into month, which is to deal with these elephants in particular. And he's got redemption, I believe, as well. So that can deal potentially with siege. As soon as these monks come over here, he should just delete the elephant. So we'll see if he's able to... No, he deletes both of them. Very wise. Very, very wise. These buildings aren't going to go down quickly with just spearmen. University, RealTHF actually has enough for a castle, so he could stop this entire push. Oh, shot to the face by the monks as they sink into the ground. No favourable conversion time there, and they paid the price. Maybe they should have got even closer, I feel, point blank range, and potentially could have got that. Could have been, oh no, so it was a conversion on a pikeman, I believe. This TC is also going to go down. I don't see how he saved that. Archers are relocating though, so potentially exposed. Chedda's going to see this TC. Guys, this has been a chaotic one. This is... Cross is my favourite map. I love Cross. The chaos, the amount of things that you have to look at. Guys. A one villager castle. This is in plain sight. This is in complete plain sight. It's already at 14%. You could just get a villager to come and attack this other villager. If he doesn't see this, that would be extremely annoying. Mangonel converted, but then dies. This castle, it's at 35%, still unnoticed, still undealt with. RealTHF trying to reclaim this part of the map. This is still unseen. Still unseen. Mangonel's still going. Remember, he deletes the mangonel, so he's very, very wise to see that. But that's a real... The Sanctity monk can take a few rocks to the face. That villager is dead. And Chedda is gonna wall this in. So smart. That is so smart. So Archers did eventually find it at about 58%. That was, dare I say, a very optimistic strategy that I thought was nearly going to work out there for a second. Mangonel for mangonel. So trading a lot of mangonels here. These spearmen are still trying to take out the stable. This side of the base is going to be taken out. There's a relic in that monastery. But we have ballistics. We have Imperial Age. We have handcart. We don't have any farm upgrades for the Vietnamese player. I would get onto that if I was Chedda. And actually, he's going to delete these buildings because THF has redemption. He's going to probably delete these as well. Got villagers coming forward. This still hasn't been blocked off by villagers yet, so if he gets there in time, these villagers could start making this. That is converted. Remember, we have ballistics. These villagers are gonna go down. Correctly identified that he needed to get those houses up. This villager gets through, and she can attack on. She can get it on the corner there. So that was optimistic by THF. Sorry, yeah, real optimism by THF. These mangonels together could be sniped together. No. Defensive castle on this gold. And he still hasn't deleted this castle at 60%. Castle's going to go here as he's reclaimed this ground. But I think this is a really good castle position here. Have not given up on this. It's very curious. We've got a TC here and no villages. I wonder what happened to them. Hard to keep track of absolutely everything. And if Chedda had a good idle TC time, which he does not, 25 seconds of idle TC time, he would be absolutely flying if he had that. But the KD is huge. The KD is absolutely massive. Two mangonels go down at the same time. Trebuchet's coming out. That's going to be hard to deal with. Mangonel's just going to sit on this castle and attack the castle there. Knight on the PC has an effect for a small amount of time, but maybe not the most effective use of resources. Evil still going down. PC right underneath the castle. The RealTHF has pushed this back, but it's been messy. It's been real messy. And what do you do now that the trebuchets are here? He knows that this castle's here as well, so that's a sitting duck castle, I feel. Unfortunately, that those palisades are in the way. Knight's still coming out of this, so I feel like that should have been taken care of a little bit earlier, perhaps, to stop all this stupid knight pressure that keeps on coming in. Taking out these walls, taking out these buildings, it's got a clearer run at this castle, but it's going to be very telegraphed now. And as I say that, Imperial Age is coming up for RealTHF. Not going to be in time though. This is not going to be in time. 11 skirmishes on the field. Not enough. I'm surprised that we haven't seen pikemen upgrade to deal with these knights and to deal with this stable. And actually we see a galley come over here so that the stable stays up. So he's committed to that. That castle goes down. Gold here is going to be hard to come by once that TC goes down. This is a great game, guys. This is really good showing from both players to start off with. And shout out to RealTHF for bringing this game back. Focuses down the monk first. Do have skirmishes, so you got to be a bit careful. TC going to go up on this wood line. He needs to find more gold though. As RealTHF calls the GG, he knew that gold was sparse and he knew that he was closing in, and actually RealTHF is not an Imperial. Can I just have a look at this actually? Yes, Imperial is in that back TC. I thought perhaps he killed the TC going for Imperial, but no, it was back there. But still, was going to find it hard to come back from that. 1 minute away from Imperial, no castles. Has the skirmishes, but it's not enough. It's not enough. So, congrats, Chedda, on the first win. Which, again, I said when we began this, RealTHF, I believe, would be the favourite. Especially because Chedda has this, I will say, unorthodox style. Doesn't mind running an idle TC. Doesn't mind going for early aggression and making the game messy. So it's not textbook Age of Empires. but it certainly is effective. And he executes it very, very well. We saw him have about 3 groups of archers run around THF's base, avoiding skirmishes, and I think it was 6 villager kills in Dark Age and early feudal. That's huge. That is so huge. RealTHF did salvage it a bit with this dock and the stable, but that early game was just perfection by Chedda. So well played, well played, and we can get on to the next game. I believe it is Zong. Is it Zong? Let me just check that, because that's not what I have in my files. So I'll go to the source and see what it is. Games, save files, game 2. Let's see what comes up. While we do that, oh, might need to do it open with capture age, perhaps. I would like to get this right. I would like to get the correct map. But if I just quickly go to the map screen, so it is either going to be Zong or Shoals, because that's RealTHF's maps. So I believe it is Zong. All right, let's do it. Just quickly pause it. All right, let's get going. Chedda picking the Italian on Zong. Burgundians for RealTHF. We've seen this from him before. Have definitely not seen Italians on Zong, but it's not a terrible pick. I'll say why. Zong Italians, Arena Italians is not bad because they have the less cost to go up for each age. So you can get an age advantage with Italians. And that could potentially play into Chedda's aggressive style. As Burgundians, on the other hand, want to go long. So I don't mind this from Chedda at all. You want to take RealTHF off the long-term Burgundian play before they get all to their gunpowder unit. You want to potentially break through these walls in early castle or something like that before he has a chance to really execute the game plan for Burgundians. I've never seen this. I've never seen Italians on Zong, so be interested to see how it plays out. Italians also have Hussar, right? That's a big part of their composition. Archers, of course, big part of their composition, and Chedda loves the archer play. So this is on brand for Chedda, 100%. Now, RealTHF, I'm trying to think back to his Burgundian play, and I'm just trying to remember it, but of course they got Cavalier in Castle Age, so they also have a power spike in Castle Age that could potentially match an Italian early power spike. That could be interesting. Neither one of these is a really good monk civ. And obviously you've got the relic in the middle. I thought potentially we might see Lithuanians on this map because of that. But no. Back in Black, good to see you in the chat. I was gonna say, I think I put in the messages. Happy to give you a channel raid after this set, even if you're partway through. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. You can go from, I know you're planning to do the next 2 brick sets. So this is like 3 brick sets in a row. Could be like a brick marathon, which could be pretty cool. Now, important to see how each of these players deal with these shrines. Of course, you can get a high priest out of the shrine and across the map to the relics in feudal. And it looks like RealTHF is going to get through this wood earlier because remember, Burgundians can also get bit axe in Dark Age, which helps you get through these trees quicker. There's only 100 wood on that tree. So he's going to get this high priest out real quick. But actually, they're around about the same for Italians as well. They're also going to get their monk out. And here he comes. There he is, ready to exit. Unfortunately, this villager is stuck in between these 2 villages, so cannot get out yet. That's a bit frustrating for him. There's only 50 wood on that tree. No monk there yet. So some efficiencies to have on both players. Be interesting to see who gets that first. Of course, this gold at the back is really important. If I click on this gold, it is over 5.5 grand of gold. It's a lot. 5,600 as RealTHF goes for it now. You can sit on this gold for a long time before you even have to venture out onto the map at all. And I've seen that being done by a lot of players. You even have a little backup gold, a pile of about 1,600, sorry. Gold on the side, if you're desperate. But there is more gold here. 5,600 gold there, 5,600 gold there, and then of course you've got the big pile of gold in the middle, 16k. If you do have the side, it's enough. You don't need the middle, but it is nice to have. Market going into the back. Priest going out, 2 priests. Scouts, Scouts patrolling that route not taken yet. And I'm just trying to find these priests actually. He hasn't produced any. So these priests, one here. Where's the other one? Oh, there. So going for different edges, hedging a bit. Scout can't kill both of them at the same time if they're on different sides of the map. And I feel like RealTHF just forgotten to produce one. So a bit of a flaw in that plan there. But market Gonna see a blacksmith eventually, I would think, from Chedda. Go for a fast castle. This scout protecting this priest realizes that he's there. Has on some kind of auto scout though, although maybe he's seen them. But is running away now. So those priests could have died, but did not. RealTHF is going to be quicker to castle, and he's producing a monk now, which is too late. It's far too late. I think Chit is going to have 4 relics, at least. He could even get 5. He's got the blacksmith already. I say already, but RealTHF is quick at the castle, but Chedda is gonna have a fine castle age time with 4 relics. And that's a real advantage. That is a huge advantage, actually. Gonna have to transition into some farms now as well. Doesn't necessarily have the wood, but actually going for town centers, which is a good idea. Might even see a 3rd. No, use the market to get a 3rd. Don't think so. Already seeing the relics being moved into the back of the base. And that's because RealTHF has got the last relic, so he has salvaged to get 1. Which I guess is a bit of a consolation prize. But consolation prize nonetheless. 4 to 1 is still not great. Castle's coming in now, so again, we don't want Burgundians if we're rooting for Chedda. I'm a bit of an underdog. I go for the underdog, and again, I think RealTHF is the favourite, even with Chedda up 1-0. I like the underdog. So if we were to put ourselves in Chedda's shoes, how would we make sure RealTHF doesn't get a Burgundian boom going? I think it's a push. I think you try and push relatively early in castle. He doesn't have... Well, he's got 3 on stone. Monastery going up at the back. Doesn't have enough stone for a castle. Looks like he might go into a 3 TC boom. Looks like the play. How do I feel about late game Italians versus late game Burgundians? Don't feel great about it. But I guess he's banking on the fact that he has 4 relics. Then again, I think this map, the relic choice on this map is interesting. I think this is a really interesting map, but are the relics very important? Because there's a lot of gold on the map. Do you really need relic gold? Do you need it? Is it that important? Maybe not. But we have seen this from RealTHF, the walling of the side here. And then he'll stick inside his base for a long time and then push out, if I'm remembering correctly. I believe I've seen him do that on this map. Actually, he might have done it with Bohemians. It might not have been Burgundians. It was either Bohemians or Burgundians. Both great gunpowder civs. But I believe we'll see him stick around as a spearman is converted. Don't know why. Like the time for relic and relic contention is obviously over. But I've just seen that the Imperial Age has come up. And guys, I just forgot. Italians are a great gunpowder sieve. They have great gunpowder of their own. And they have condottieri. Got condottieri, guys. So they've got the recipe to actually counter the Burgundians. Unless they go for Cavalier. But haven't seen any indication of that yet. This has just been a full-on boom session. This is full boom. But we're going to see a castle here from Chedda at some point. I don't know where. He is quite far behind in terms of res collected. That being because of the 3 TCs to the 2 TCs. But here we go. Here's the castle. We have scouts all over the map. Gonna go for a relatively safe castle, which is fine, and likes a bit of symmetry as well. Going for mining camps on either side of that castle is going to look very nice. Although if I was to criticize, this is only 1 tile away from the castle and this is 2 tiles. Need to see a little more dedication to the symmetry there. Gonna wall this side and wall in this stone. This is so defensive, guys, and I think he might have got away with it last time. But I don't know if he'll get away with it again. Especially if he locks down the resources. He's so far behind in villages though. And we see that res collected difference start to add up. So in a way, I feel like that castle should have been here. You can't let the Burgundians get to the late game. And he's got no units on the field. Feel like it should be here because you still protect this gold. Because he can't come behind. Or can't come behind very easily. Especially if you've got this kind of situation and this situation. Still only has 1 exit out, and that would be through the castle. So I feel like that should be here. But he's going to go for Genoese crossbowmen. And bombard cannon. And I'd like to see condottieri in this game at some point too. But I feel like the push has to be now because the res collected is going to get out of control. It really will. You can't be slow in this kind of battle. It's again, another 1,000 has been collected over just in that short amount of time. See all these upgrades coming in for RealTHF as well. This is a real, like, he's got no units. Got absolutely no units. Now is the time. Because we're now seeing 36 farms. 40, it's going to be 41 farms. I'm concerned. I think this is too late. I think this is too late. There's bombard cannons back here as well. But he only has 7 Genoese crossbowmen so far. Palisades. I mean, Palisades are not going to be great against the siege here. And guys, I just don't think Chedda has the... He's only producing Genoese crossbows. They do produce quite fast, but to have only 1 production building, 4 units, is going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. I think this bombard cannons coming here to try to take out this TC as quick as possible with the Genoese crossbowmen. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to be super aggressive. We see Imperial Skirmisher with Bracer coming in with Chemistry. So that's going to be a challenge for the Genoese crossbowman, and I feel like he's seen that. Still not any adaptation of any kind. Genoese crossbowmen only with bombard cannon and trebs. It's going to take out this monastery. Again, I think this is too slow. I really think this is too slow. But it is a bit blasé on the side of RealTHF as well, because I don't see any panic production. I would be trying to get into as much production as possible right away, right now. Because this push is happening. And your base is slowly being ground down. You've only got these sides. You've only got this a little bit of wood. Stone and this gold back here. You've only got 9 on gold actually. Gonna go for siege of his own, and that will be bombard cannon. So bombard cannon versus bombard cannon. I feel like this is kind of the play that we see in, you know, from pros. Did take a shot to the face. He took a shot to the face. Got the repairs out on the siege. He took a shot to the face, so don't kill each other immediately. Oh. And actually, that bombard cannon goes down. Siege Workshop also goes down. Masonry coming out as well. And I think RealTHF is starting to panic a little bit and thinking, what do I do here? And these bombard cannons are actually gonna hit these skirmishers pretty hard. And I think maybe Chedda's got the composition to deal with what RealTHF has. We haven't seen any Burgundian Cavalier. They're both an Imperial, of course, but he didn't go for that Cavalier play to get map control. Which maybe is wise against Genoese crossbowmen. And I think RealTHF doesn't have the right priorities because he's gone into 2-man sword and crop rotation. You're not going to have a base. You might have the eco upgrades, but your villagers might be dead. Yikes. Big yikes. These trebuchets will be in danger though. And he wisely moves back. This castle could also be in trouble. So there is hope here. But hasn't moved with these, and one goes down. Trebuchets are going to relocate perhaps to somewhere else. And oh, that was a huge shot. That was a huge, huge shot. Bombard cannon still, it's a real bombard cannon war. Two goes down. One goes down here for Chedda, but he's got one on 7 hit points. And now this siege workshop that was producing these bombard cannons is going to go down. Probably going to target this treb though, and it will die. Oh, targeted the wrong one. Let's see if he can get some treb hits. That treb's also going to go down. And knights are being built up with Cavalier. This castle could be in jeopardy, but more bombard cannons are coming out. 129 villages. So, on RealTHF, he hasn't wavered from his strategy despite this aggression. And the res collector is about 10,000 now. The difference is 10,000. And we do actually see RealTHF has about 18,000, 1,800 stone, I should say. which he could just instantly sell to get his gold income. But he's only got about 2,500 gold left in total. These need to be taken out, and it is recognized. So it's a hit, retreat kind of situation. I would get some Connoteros out here. Elite Genoese Crossbowman is going to be the play. Which I think is fine. Especially against Burgundians. I see scale mail armor coming out, so that's a real sign that Connoteros will come out eventually. But nothing has run into the back here. He's going to try and snipe these. And this could be a mistake. This could be a mistake, and he wisely backs away. This castle is going to go down, and because these Genoese crossbowmen have relocated elsewhere, I don't know how I feel about this for RealTHF actually. I believe he should have ran away a bit quicker, and a trebuchet is actually on this castle. And actually this converted cavalier is going to attack the bombard cannons, and this is going to be a question of micro. And Genoese crossbowmen are just standing here into the fire of bombard cannons and skirmishers, which I'm hating. So it's falling apart here for Chedda, and I think now, based on that fight, a real advantage here for RealTHF. So, guys, he's done it. He's somehow managed to hold from that pressure. Don't ask me how. I don't know how he's done it. But he has held. And Connoteros come out too late, I believe. Because they would have been perfect to go around to snipe the bombard cannons. That castle didn't go down. Castle's gonna trying to go up here. Gold is still gonna be an issue, as we only see 2 on gold. All these gold miners are out of work, unemployed. Trump's economy, I reckon. Still gonna be hard to get gold, even though this has been dealt with over here. And we've seen Chedda house, as we've seen some houses go down. He only has 115 population to 184, which is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Got siege around the back here. And Chedda's going to go into try to transition and meet the Burgundian boom. We haven't seen any gunpowder from Chedda. We've just seen Genoese crossbowmen, and the castles have not been there. Well, the castles were there, but they're now gone. That castle's probably going to be dead on arrival, I reckon. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. As the repairs come out, Paladin on the villagers, and this castle's going to survive. And I think that might have been Chedda's last hope. Because that castle's now going to be dead. It's gone. So Chedda in real strife here. He's been pushed off these resources. This castle might not even go up. Although it is only 3 paladins, and that's a lot of villagers to kill in that time. You might see quite a lot of losses. if they get to work. And they will. Goes out quite quickly though. And they'll be garrisoned at some point. Not immediately. Based on that reaction, he could have got a few more, but we see 6 bombard cannons, well protected by skirmishers. And this is not an ideal time to be transitioning to a boom when the enemy's on your door. So, if I'm being honest, I don't know how RealTHF won that. Patience, dedication to the game plan, and it worked out. So, props to him. I get annoyed when stuff like this pays. We've even got fortified walls, guys. When this stuff pays off, where you can just sit behind your walls and not get punished, and Chedda should have perhaps punished him more, been more aggressive on that attack. Chedda should have got him. I think that was a win Chedda should have got. But at the same time, saying that, RealTHF, executed that game plan right down to the wire, didn't budge on the strategy, and made it happen. So definitely well played to him as well. Back in Black says, to be honest, Italians have perfect good hussars. Yeah, they've got great hussars. And I said that at the start that they should have, the hussar is part of the Italian unit combination. It's definitely one of the top choices. So maybe a combination between Genoese crossbowmen and hussar. I thought maybe Genoese crossbowmen and condottieri because he had access to all that gold. But didn't see the hussar or condottieri really be combined with Genoese crossbowmen all that effectively. Just not enough numbers and the transitions being way too late. So that's one apiece. One apiece between Chedda and RealTHF. Let's go. It's going to be a close series. Kilimanjaro, I will just check, is the next map. I believe so. So let's go for Kilimanjaro. So just before we start, just thought I'd have a quick check of the chat. Gossip Girl, welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Settle in. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Back in Black said, I was thinking Genoese and condottieri a double gold competition. That's true, but he did have access to all the gold in the middle, so he could have potentially sustained it. Welcome, Gossip Girl. Going into third game of the series, best of 5, Brick Division, Kilimanjaro. Let's get it going. So, we've seen Archer civs up until now, Vietnamese, Italians, from Chedda, and now we're going to see Malians. So this is a different kind of civ for this map. How do I feel about them? I think it is a mobility map, so you want to go into some kind of knight or scout play and feudal perhaps to get some raids in, or knights to secure the middle and put pressure on the sides. But of course, Berbers, they arguably do that a lot better. Cheaper knight units, cheaper stable units, I should say. Might see some double stable scout or knight play. We'll see. We'll see who comes out on top. Of course, Malians, if they are able to get through that initial war with the Berbers, Night War, Scout War, they do have Farimba and Imperial, so they will eventually outpace the Knights of the Berbers, even if the Berber Knights are cheaper. That's my kind of perspective on it anyway. Now, what about a dock? I'm still waiting for somebody to dock this map because I love that strategy. If you dock this, produce 2 fishing ships to get this fish 400 food on the shore fish, and then transition into fish traps, wall it in. I want to see it. I want to see it before this tournament is over because I think it is a really good strategy, especially if you're Malay. So maybe we won't see it this game because no Malay, but I think it's a good strat. Deer pushing by Chedda. Elephants here. Deer are over here, so I believe that's what RealTHF is looking for potentially. And he has found it, and he's going to push. I think you need to do that on this map, as in most maps. And yeah, again, Chedda has kind of lived up to my expectations in terms of the unorthodox gameplay, the chaos, the unexpected civ picks like Italians, the ultra aggression on cross, the high idle TC time. He doesn't mind running up the TC time. So he's not a standard player. But we saw him come away with 1 victory, and we nearly saw him come away with 2 victories. So he's playing exceptionally well, and this is really going to test RealTHF, the more standard player. Gotham Guild. Malian seem an odd choice for this map. Usually a hybrid map civ, right? Yep. Where's my noob showing? Look, I don't think they're the most... I don't think they're the absolute best on this map. I think of Magyars, I think of Tatars especially with the hill bonus. I think they're the top 2 to come to mind. I think Berbers are great on this map, especially with the Knight play. Knight's exceptional on this map. Yep, and Back in Black also is potentially supporting that point. But I think Malians in general are just a great all-rounded civ. I think their tech tree is super open. You got camels, of course, which might be great against Berbers actually. I didn't mention that before. And then you've got Gebetto as kind of the wild card. If they throw pikemen at you to counter your knights, you go into Gebetto to counter the pikemen. It's a really natural kind of unit composition. Barracks coming up here for Chedda, which might indicate that when he gets up to feudal, he wants to go straight into a stable. Haven't seen that yet from the Berber players, so maybe he wants to go into fast castle perhaps, and starting to wall, which might indicate that, might preempt that kind of move, which will be interesting. Still got a lot of wood for Chedda. That is a lot of wood and no berries taken yet. And if you want to sustain scout production, that could be difficult. Actually, we're going to see range. We're going to see double range. Double Malian range. This is unexpected. They do get Arbalesta. Gonna need to see much more on gold to sustain this though. Yeah, gonna see a lot more on gold, yep. Even 2 more on gold is not going to be enough. You're going to need more than that. And RealTHF has seen this. So we'll see. He might need to go into a range of his own. Get some skirmishes up. Even a blacksmith as well. So he wants to have 2 range production with something like fletching. He's now got 8 on gold. Hasn't even built a mill. He's only building that now. But I think we're going to see some more idle TC time because can he sustain 2 archer range, blacksmith? I'm worried about this, and we already see the skirmishes come out, so I think RealTHF might be prepared for this. We do see spearmen preemptively created to counter any knight rush. And where are these villagers going? Where are these guys going? This is very unexpected. This is a lot of wasted walking time. Are they going for some kind of tower rush or something? Walking around the long way? Want to go for a wood camp? In the most obscure part of the map. Interesting. He's up to 3 skirmishes, which I love to see. And I think this is going to be neutralized. I do love on Kilimanjaro of walling one side, army on the other. I think that's all you need. I don't think you need a full wall. That's a lot on that fish. A lot of overfishing. Look at all those nets. Those fish don't stand a chance. Skirmish is going to come over. But we have seen Cheddar go to multiple locations in the past. Not going to see that here. He's all going to go to one spot. We have seen RealTHF get a bit flustered at time and have a bit of a efficiency problem, and we might see that again. Again, very curious woodline. Archer's going to come round. Skirmisher's going to cut him off, but 2 have made it. This skirmisher, if he comes round in time, he should leave some here, I feel. These villagers are like, you know what? I can take a few arrows to the face. As long as I don't get too many, I'll be fine. Scout's going to take out this archer as well. Those skirmishers unfortunately meet a scout. Skirmish is obviously not great against scouts, so I'd love to see maybe just 1 spearman thrown in here. Or a couple archers, you know, mix archers and skirmishers. I don't know, but I think what he's done is fine. That's a great hold. And as expected, we see a small eco lead with RealTHF, but efficiency again is the issue. You know, maybe RealTHF might be a progressive guy. He's like, you know what? Your employees are welcome to some siestas. They got more workers' rights than the Malians, perhaps. I might even prefer a tower. Yeah, you know, reduce all chance of things getting out of control, but I think this mess is also just fine. If you just wanted to play it super defensive, could go for a tower. Transitioning nicely into farm. And again, the food economy for Cheddar is a little bit lacking. These berries are going to expire eventually. And he's really trying to push the advantage there on those gold miners. And it's not an engagement I love, although he used the scout to maximum benefit, surviving on 3 hit points. We do have fletching and padded armor, and actually we see some scout production coming in here for Cheddar as well. So might need to see more response, perhaps, for RealTHF. And just based on that inefficiency, we see, even though RealTHF has had the villager advantage all this time and has had bit axe and horse collar, and Cheddar does not, he's still far behind, or he's still a little bit behind on res. Yep. Again, would have liked to see a tower here just to remove all doubt, and maybe a spearman on the back here. So Chedda really likes to utilize the units in multiple places kind of play, but the main bulk of Chedda's army is useless to some extent. Archers coming in. These are going to be relocated. You don't want to chase these archers to this wood line, by the way, so I think that's the reason why he has given up. Oh, no. Stop chasing. Stop chasing, because you're going to lead them directly to your villages. And that's going to be a disaster. That's going to be an absolute disaster, guys. We've got 2 archers sitting in the back. Just miss it. The goats kind of just move around that wood line as well. Ooh, that was a close call. And we do see some kills starting to come in now against these archers. Idle TC time 4 minutes. Chedda. To be expected. Scouts coming in, but it's only 1 scout, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. Goats to the corner. These archers pushed all the way back. Chedda is up the castle. Chedda's up the castle, and when those turn into crossbows, and this could be a problem actually. Finally see spearmen come out. For these scouts, and those scouts are super low now, so they're rendered potentially useless. And oh guys, the inefficiency. It's hard to keep track, you know. I'm not saying that I would do any better, I wouldn't, but it just makes me feel bad on behalf of RealTHF, as he's really being pushed to the limit here by Chedda. Again, I think it's that case of you just got to get over the hump for RealTHF, and then you're laughing. So I think he's done enough. He's 10 villages ahead now, because Chedda's been on the way to castle all this time. I think he's done enough to say that he has the advantage in the matchup, but you know, knights are going to come out now. Knights will definitely come out now, and I would want to get this wall up before those knights arrive, especially because you only have skirmishes. PC map control is the play. More archers. Where is that stable? No knights yet, so still going to go into archers. Get ballistics on these skirmishes eventually as well. But a lot of those archers are weak. These 3 skirmishes have come from somewhere, I don't know where. And even walled out. So much of a threat that they've been walled out. A very blasé wall. I would get a gate in here as well if possible. But yes, these are now crossbowmen with bodkin. So real power spike, even against skirmishes, and that we do see the knight. And this can be devastating for a group of skirmishes, because I think they only do 1 damage per shot. And that's tough. Again, tower would have been lovely. Tower would have been great on this forward goal. You know, knowing that he's going to be super aggressive, tower neutralizes a lot of this. He's even going to get through this wall here and cause havoc on these farms in this wood line. So, like I said before, I thought the advantage was a real THF, but now he's got a real problem on his hand. Siege Workshop coming out. These are now, I was going to say Imperial Skirmishes, they're not, they're Elite Skirmishes. They still have to deal with Knights. And I don't see what will deal with Knights, because this stable did not go up. Taken off gold for now as well, he can come back now. All these villagers having a sleep inside the town center. I feel like I'm being a bit cruel now every time I mention this, but the efficiency is just, it's just killing RealTHF. So bad. It's just killing him. They are out now, they are working. There's a hole here. There's nearly a hole there. He's gonna dodge with this knight. So this is some pro level strat. But as long as he focuses down the archers, it's not a problem. And this knight is just about dead. So can come back again. Gonna see some more idle time. As they congregate, this is like, you know, when you have to do a fire exit drill. It's like, oh, you've got to wait in the designated spot down the road on the corner. This is the designated waiting spot. Until you're given the all clear, you cannot move from that spot or go back to work. I know you're busy. I know you've got a lot of work to do, really important work, but just have to be given the all clear first. So they're not going to be all that good for now. Knight coming out, and even a Genitor. Okay. Genitors, I don't think, unless you get to Imperial Age and you are worrying about population efficiency, I don't think you want to go for Genitors. And there's villages back here and a knight. Oh boy, those villages are going down. And we see Genitors go down there. 3 mangonels. There's enough archers to deal with this. Get more of these walls down, and you've got enough space to do things, which is exactly what he's doing. These villages have exhausted that wood line and going to another wood line. And I haven't looked at Chedda's base for the entire game because none of the action has been back here, and he's just expanding farms like crazy. Absolute madman. He's gonna have 25 farms back there. And now this is all exposed. Those villagers get hit by 1 trillion rocks. Oh. That is a massacre. Sorry, I had the close up of the big shots. 2 mangonels left. Just love to see a mango shot to the face. And he's just going to run for the economy now. Another Genitor gone from mangonel shots. There's going to be another one here. Dead. There's nothing more satisfying, guys. Nothing more satisfying than hitting an opponent with a perfect mangonel shot. And it's looking dire. It's looking real dire. More knights coming through, and we even see monk response to the knights. And somehow did not get that conversion. Save the mangonel. Mangonel on 2 hit points. This villager might be coming to repair it, I think. So that's clutch. Well, nope, I stand corrected. That mangonel in defense goes. Mangonel repaired. This knight somehow hasn't found these villages. It's just patrolling, making sure these villages don't go anywhere else. Outpost coming up. Nearly got a castle here for Chedda, so Chedda is way in the lead. Chad villages, yeah. Chedda should keep his archers alive to upgrade his crossbow. That must have been a while ago, that chat message. Yes, he has kept this archer mass up, and this castle could be even more aggressive, but I don't hate it. It's on the hill, it denies the gold. Chedda ain't going anywhere. There's knights on the side. If this knight got back here, as RealTHF has noticed that, these villagers are going to have to escape to this TC, which he is now going to be aware of. Hasn't gone for the knockout punch for the TC though. And he hasn't really put his archers in super aggressive position, but this is going to shrink as soon as... Oh, that villager. If you're going to die, you know, it's got to be a glorious death, and that certainly was a complete KO. And actually we're going to see him wait for Imperial here, so he gets the trebuchets for the town centers. Again, Genitours, I don't think it's the play. You got to have a big population to kind of make that work. These archers could be a problem, in trouble, sorry, from this Mangonel. That Mangonel goes down. Dodge there. These knights will clean it up. Well, this villager will clean it up, actually. She is not happy. She is not happy. That Mangonel has killed way too many of her family members. Took out a revenge. Absolutely incredible. Chad villager indeed. Knows that that castle is there now. RealTHF going to go for real stone shaft mining. Really wants the castle as quick as possible. Gebetto's on the back. They are alone, so they are fast as well. So they can almost outrun camels and actually lure them back to their archers. No ballistics yet for Chedda, which would be great on these archers. Castle on the corner of the hill. Sure, why not? You got the resources. I'd be looking for the knockout punch though. I would definitely be looking for the knockout punch. And sorry, where are they getting gold from? Again, if he had ballistics, those are dead. They're all dead. They're over here. So, Chedda is an Imperial. Gonna go for a castle up here, but this is a sitting duck castle, guys. And he will know about this as well. Is it even in range of this gold? I don't even know that. Don't have my range indicators up. Villager's going to attack the castle, and we're going to see a counter castle here as well. These Gebetto need to get into the action though to really disrupt this. 80% to 40% is not even going to see the castle drop because he's called the GG. He could have denied this castle probably, but I would agree. I would say this game has been over for a little while. And Chedda goes up 2-1, so he's going into match point. Well played by Chedda. Very well played by Chedda. And RealTHF, you know, same story as Cross. Always on the back foot. Tried to go for the economy play. I reckon probably had an advantage there for a little while doing that, and then it kind of raveled out of control. So Chedda and RealTHF, very contrasting styles, and Chedda is coming out on top so far. Yep, Imp and GG. That's exactly right. All right, I'm going to take a very short break. Bathroom and water and the such. Another tea. I need another tea. But I'll be right back. I'll be about 2 minutes, I reckon. So don't go anywhere. Tempting, but still a close series coming up. So catch you very, very soon. I'm back. I've got banana fuel. Keep me going. Could be one match if Chedda wins the next one. Could be two matches if RealTHF wins this next one. So I'll get on to live scene and back into the game. Evacuation. Love evacuation. Apologies for my eating. But it'll be over soon. Let me just check all the settings. That I'm not on mute or anything like that. I'm not. Fantastic. Let's get going. All right. So, Malay for Chedda. Love it. Again, fits his play style. If you can get a early feudal and castle age, you know, you can use those power spikes to your advantage to do some aggression. I think it's probably pretty good on this map. This map does seem to go late quite often. So if you don't hit those early aggression times, you could struggle. And Byzantines, I just think are an all-rounder type civ. You got the fire ships that work wonders in a water, early feudal water war. And then they're defensive, obviously, so they do lend themselves to going late. So, yeah, love it for both players and something that I would expect from both players based on their game styles. See some scouting by goats. The big thing will be who gets to water first. I think water is important, but sometimes I only see 3 fishing boats, and then that's it. And then the rest of water is not utilized. Water doesn't seem to be a huge concern. What seems to be a concern is getting these berries. And getting over here. I haven't noticed this before. 2 berry piles? Is this some kind of adaptation for the map? I thought there was only 1. But we're seeing 2. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but I thought we'd only see 1 for each player across the river, which would be this one. But we see 2. Alright. Now, big advantage is getting the cows. And we see blue has got a few cows, has already got a cow over here. Got this one that will come over, and this scout is not going to find it. Cow here. Cow here. And this is great work by RealTHF to try and scout any cows coming over. Just narrowly misses this one. This scout is also trying to do the same, but misses this one. So both players getting a little bit unlucky. And this scout could potentially still get this one. Might even get the goats, actually. Oh, that's devastating. Oh, start moving them. Yes. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. This village is trying to catch up. If I was that scout, I would be protecting this with my life, because this is so good. But that's a huge disruption. And that goat is found again. These goats not found. So it looks like these goats are... they're just gone. 2 cows there. Gonna go for a villager kill. Causing these villagers to go idle. Trying to do some walling. Unable to. And this dock isn't up. This dock is up with 2 fishing ships, so... I think RealTHF is executing this to perfection, and, you know, the pressure is on for him to get this win in this game, otherwise his run is over. These goats are found. This goat not found. As he had split them up, and I would have thought about splitting those goats up into 2 different locations. Yes, that villager didn't have loom that went down, which would explain a lot, but the first fishing ship coming up, 3 already for RealTHF. Feudal coming in much earlier than Chedda, but Chedda is Malay. So even if he clicks it now, could maybe get a similar time, and he does have the resources for it. So, but that's the main advantage of the Malay, and you're getting a basically equal time, and he's cancelled it because he wants another villager. I'm confused. He did click it for a small amount of time, and now not. So is he thinking of delaying this time? I'm very confused. I am very, very confused. And maybe he's flustered from this shaky beginning, which is unusual for Chedda. Because for Chedda, it's all about this early game. Executing this early game and doing it well. And he's looking a little shaky here. RealTHF is in feudal, and Cheddar hasn't clicked feudal yet. So we're gonna do a forced drop off and go for it. Okay. Whew. Let's see if you can recover from this, because this is a rough start. Are we gonna see any fire galleys? Yes, we are. The fire galley is going to come out for this dock, and we should just see what RealTHF sees. Doesn't know that dock is there. But you would expect a dock on this map. These cows are not even being utilized. Oh, sorry, that's the scout that is just sitting there, but this cow is just going to sit there. We don't have a barracks in sight for Cheddar, and he's actually going to go for fire galleys of his own, which is interesting. Fire galleys to protect 2 fishing ships, I guess. But again, you don't see an overinvestment in fishing ships on this map. I've never seen it. We have wheelbarrow and bidax for RealTHF, so he's going hard on the upgrades, for sure. And he is only just now coming over to the mainland, I like to call it. I like to call this the mainland and this the island. So Chit's been on the mainland for a little while. At a market for Chit, so he's going to try and go for, I was going to say a fast castle, but then we see the barracks. So we're not going to see a fast castle. See some preemptive skirmishes here, which is a bit of paranoia, if you ask me, on the side of RealTHF. This fire ship's going to be annoying and just sit in this gap. But, you know, you're not going to kill, well, I mean, am I going to be wrong? This village is going to go down to fire. Yep, dead. So scolded to death by the Byzantine fire ship and repairs on that fire ship. So we'll see if there's going to be a response here by RealTHF. And it would seem to me not. We have so many skirmishes. 9 skirmishes. And still producing. I just have to ask why. Why are we seeing so many skirmishes? Is it just with Malay you're expecting skirmishes? You know, I think archers are their best opening, for sure. But, yeah. Just get these villagers to attack these skirmishes. I guess it's causing idle time, for sure, but wouldn't it have been great if these were archers? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I just think it's a losing play. And especially if you're going to run into fires. I mean, skirmishes against fire ships, you're going to tickle them. Tickle them to death. It's not worth your effort. Well, I mean, fair play. He is going archers. And he's got 6 skirmishes ready for them. And going into stable. Got fletching for these skirmishes as well. Taken off berries. Forcing them all onto wood. And we actually only see 3 on food for Cheddar. That's going to cause a lot of idle TC time. That's going to cause so much idle TC time. But Malay going to get the quicker cast age, and I do believe RealTHF clicked his cast age time quicker. So that is a concern. These fishing ships going to go down. RealTHF not particularly concerned about that though. More idle time created over here. Spearmen, obviously not great against skirmishes. Singled out. Idle TC time. Yeah, worker efficiency 54 to 80. Res collected. Pretty even though. Pretty even. As we see a villager lead for Chedda, even though he has that idle TC time that's higher, that's again because of that bonus. Higher, quicker uptime bonus. We're going to see 2 TC boom. And 1 TC here for RealTHF. Why is it making that sound? I don't know. But the sound has gone away. Going to annoy me? Okay. Dealt with it. But Archer's on the back here. I was distracted and now we're going to see potentially some kills. Not to be though, because that TC is now up. I'm questioning this 2 TCs when you've got nothing on food. You're not going to be able to sustain the TC production. I think that resource could have been used elsewhere. And again, skirmishes against fire ships. As the fire ship retreats, okay, sure. We sure about that? Those archers go down, and they will be tracked to the corner of the map. There's only one left. As suspected, idle TC time is creeping up. Camels on the back here, which I didn't see. I did notice the stable go up. I didn't notice the camel. And that's causing a lot of idle TC time. A lot of villager efficiency, I should say. Problems. Might want to get into the TC to kill the camel. Camel could even kill some of these farms. But it's not been noticed because something's happening over here. And they go into the TC. Camel dies. They come out. That might actually be an advantage to Chedda because that forced them to take them off wood and finally put some things on food. As his idle TC time climbs up to 8 minutes. So that's a real kink in Chedda's game that he has to sort out, I think. He's sticking on to the aggression. He's going for the Seed Workshop. And he's going into a fish boom. As he's produced more docks, and he's gone hard on the fishing ships. So even though he's got an idle TC time problem, he's still getting that eco production in other ways. It's just not as efficient. But Malay, he might be thinking of fish traps eventually, but I don't know, there's a lot of fish out here as well. So hard to justify. Alright, camels coming out. You're going to see the 3 TC boom. Yeah, back in Gothic Girl says probably assumption of archers. Yeah, he definitely assumed archers. That's for sure. And you know, he wasn't wrong. But we see camels come in to the back here. And that was a slow reaction. Going to see the 3rd TC. So again, this aggression on the side here is curious when you've got going for the 3 TC boom. Obviously hard to maintain both. So Chedda is torn, you know, his heart is into the aggression, but his mind says 3 TC boom. But if you're pulling in 2 different directions in strategy, I think it might be a losing strategy. Having said that, if you walk into a mangonel and an elephant, very unfortunate. Yeah, that's tough. That is very tough. We did see Chedda go into elephants with Vietnamese on cross, so this is a strategy he knows well. Battle elephant against skirmishers. There is no armor on the Malay elephants, and they only get 1 armor. So this elephant will eventually go down, which is funny. You never see skirmishers go down to elephants go down to skirmishers all that often, but you know, camels and knights are here. He did go into a choke point, but it didn't matter. And those mangonels and that pressure are now diffused. Another TC, guys? 3 TCs weren't enough? Okay. Okay. Sure. There's a mangonel here and a couple battle elephants here. I might think about putting a siege workshop of my own and a battering ram just to get rid of this. I hate having that stuff on the corner of my base. Get some good shots on those skirmishes, but it's not going to pay off, unfortunately. I did like the thought, though. Kind of a cheeky play, I would say. Don't know how I feel about this castle. What is it protecting? Maybe it's protecting across the river play from your own base. Yeah, not feeling it. Maybe try to put it into a choke point of some kind, like here or here. Don't know what this is doing. There's no farming economy here. It's not even next to a wood line particularly. So, yeah, don't know how I feel about that castle. This castle's much better. You got wood lines, you got gold. Protects us back here. If you wall that up, they can't get to there. Love that castle for RealTHF, and I said siege workshop, but just drop a castle on a forward siege workshop and stable. That also works. And again, I'm missing the camel raid around the back. Picking up more villager kills. And the army disparity between the two is concerning. Very, very concerning. Not going to get much more out of it though because of the TCs. But yeah, it was a real mismatch of strategy, I reckon, for Chedda. And for some reason he's going to try and build this building when camels are fast approaching. I feel like he should have foresaw that. And those 2 villages are going to go... Oh, yep. Those villages are going to go down. Universe of another town... Guys, what are these town centers? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 home. 5 town centers. Why? Why? Just why? Why is this necessary? You've only got 19 on food. It's not like you can sustain 5 town centers. So, I mean, I guess it's to protect from these raids, and it is working. To some extent. But that's a huge investment, and I'd be thinking of doing my own siege workshop as RealTHF. Definitely. Because you can't let this go unpunished. 5 TCs in a castle? And again, oh, you've got no army, Chedda. This is too ambitious, and even this. He might even run into this. And he will. Oh! Just blocks it. This castle will probably go up. But some villages will go down. %. Karambit's coming out. That's going to be great against skirmishers. And the army numbers are down now. Imperial coming out for RealTHF though, so He's not overreacting to this, dare I say, bizarre boon. He's just going to have to find a way to deal with karambits, and to be honest, karambits are not... I'm never that scared about karambits. Even camels against karambits, fun. 100% fun. The monastery was probably there for the elephants, but no longer needed. I agree with the addition of another stable. And he's going to try and push it. Wow. Cheddar is, he's unpredictable. He's dedicated to the aggression. And it wins him games. And it could win in this game still. 100%. But these villagers, they have enough for a castle. They're going to build a castle of their own. It's going to be supported by knights. They are just standing here though. Why? I'm not sure. But these knights are going to have to get over here. This is not supported. Well, supported appropriately, I will say, but there are units coming over now and this will go up. He's going to lose a bit of villages in the process though. And it's a similar situation to what happened before. Now Chedda's army is decimated by going for this, but he did kill a lot of villages. But I'm loving to see production being ramped up now. And we should very quickly see a trebuchet come out from this castle. Trebuchet coming out of these castles. And I just think RealTHF has the unit combination and Cheddar currently does not. But he needs to get to work. He needs to get to work right now. Like, you cannot be just sitting here on this. He's going for rams, he's not even going for mangonels here. He is just thinking about getting his upgrades though. More trebuchets coming out. They are coming. Slowly but surely. He's not going to trickle treb. But these trebs need to get to work. As trebs are now coming out for Cheddar. Droman as well. So that's what that dock was about. 3 trebs on this castle. Another treb coming. So we've got 4 trebs, heavy camel, pikeman, cav archer, padded armor. So all of the upgrades just flying in. And we see both players have over 100 villagers now as well. Roman getting in on the action. Probably the only thing that it can actually range though. And what does these 2 castles over here, so he's got to get to work on those castles as well because you know, the trebs can still come out and we're going to have to see repair villages too. Could even dive this, I reckon. Don't know why you'd only dive it with 3 camels, but sure. See a bit of a stall in the unit production though, and these units are not in great position to protect these trebs. Don't see the villagers to repair. These camels not getting in the action. I think you got to pounce on this. You got to pounce on this, and he's actually going to retreat with the trebs under treb fire. You know, when they're packed, they're very susceptible to treb fire. So that's a curious decision. Not necessarily one I agree with, and I think maybe he's letting him get back into the game with this kind of play decision. It might not matter though. Really might not matter. as Arbalest comes in, but these skirmishers are fully upgraded from RealTHF, so not necessarily a great decision. Again, the units are not positioned perfectly here, and this Trebbit actually has 3 hit points, so just a couple of fires from those archers and it's gone. Doesn't realize that as the villager comes in for the repair. He realizes it now and it's too late. So that could be a critical moment. There's enough trebs here. Sorry, I've got the fog of war still on from RealTHF's perspective. These rams come out, but they're unprotected. It's not the greatest of plays, I would say. These camels, again, could be doing some work on the back here. It's 49 to 11 military count. Gonna try and see the production come up for the Malay players stable. So we're thinking of battle elephants against camels. So again, RealTHF Byzantines, a great counter civ. They can counter whatever you throw at them. So you get them into a late game situation like that, and it's trouble. But RealTHF has noticed this at the back and he's dealing with it appropriately. This castle must have had a droneman on it from the very corner, from downtown. Does he see these villages? He does. You want to pounce on that as soon as possible, and he now realizes. And that is 10 villages dead. We see him housed now as well. This town center's going to go down. This is dealt with. Again, the unit's not in position, but it doesn't matter. RealTHF love two-man saw, and crop rotation, even as the game is coming to an end. And RealTHF takes the game. So we're into another situation of 2-2. We saw that in the last set, and we're seeing it again for this set. And yep, 100% agree, Gossip Girl, good army comp for THF. There was nothing that Chedda really could have gone for. He wanted to go for battle elephants, I think. Just wasn't going to work against these camels. He had Arbalester, fully upgraded skirmishers. I mean, how are you going to combat that? And this is all cheaper as well for RealTHF. And this never amounted to anything. It wasn't supported. And I just think that the crucial moment of the game is this choice to go for 5 TCs or 6 TCs, something crazy like that. While you're also trying to go for an aggression play, you know, your resources are just spread too thin. And you can't sustain it. I thought it was a nice adaptation for the Malay player to go into more water, especially as the resources on food were running low. I thought that was nice. But again, sustaining that amount of fishing ships and 5 TCs, very, very greedy, and it didn't pay off. Even Hussar coming in here for RealTHF, so he had a stranglehold on this late game. Very well played, very well played. And yeah, good response here from RealTHF as we move in to the last game, which is Shoals. Love it. Okay, I already know what I'm going to talk about in this early part of the game, as we will just not even push pause and just go straight into it. Dravidians. I haven't seen Dravidians played as much as they should be on this map. They are dominant on hybrid maps. And I just haven't seen them. Just seen Italians over and over again. But yeah, we see them now, and we don't see Italians on the map. We see Lithuanians. Now I've got to remind myself about why Lithuanians are so good on hybrid maps. I believe they start, or do they start with more food? Or do they get more food when they get to feudal? They get some kind of bonus in resources, I believe. When they age up, I think. I think that's it. Or is it food? Because he's got 4 villages queued. And they've got the same food. Okay, yeah, so it must be more food. Which means you can reallocate your economy more into wood early, perhaps, and get docks up. It's something like that. Don't quote me, because obviously I am a bit fuzzy on that concept. But yeah, guys, this is for all the marbles. So I should be hyping this up more. Shoals, winner goes forward to semi-final. And this could be a long game because Shoals usually plays long. I don't think either one of these players will tap out early. They both want it. So they'll do everything they can to get the win, even if they're down by a lot or they lose gold on the side, they'll try and find a way. I think that's how I'll play. They're going to give it all they got. But yes, Dravidians usually go into archers. If you can go late, getting into elephant archers towards the end of the game is just amazing. And then you can counter something like skirms with your unique unit, the Arumi Swordsman, or just any kind of trash. You do have to secure the gold though, because that is a very gold intensive combination. Docks are a house. That's not nothing. It does free up a little bit of wood to start your fishing boom. And you do get some other kind of wood bonus, which is why they're so good on hybrid. Again, I'm a little bit hazy. It's late here in Melbourne, Australia, so my mind isn't as fresh as it could be. But they do get a wood bonus of some sort. It's like a lump sum wood bonus. Also worth mentioning, Lithuanians. You got to mention the relics, right? How many relics on the map? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 relics, 7 relics, because there's one in the middle of the lake. That's quite a lot of relics. That's potentially +7 attack on your Nightline. In addition to the relic gold that could give you. It'd be pretty hard to get this one and this one. Let's say you got 5 or even 4. It's a pretty big bonus, so nothing to sneeze at. Chedda going for the gold. This would indicate that he wants to challenge water. Nothing on gold yet for RealTHF. Does have the advantage in fishing ships, so actually got 4 fishing ships, which is that Dravidian style. And he's going to go up to feudal first. And we're seeing quite a difference in the res collected as well. That's probably coming from those fishing ships. Only second fishing ship coming out now. Gotta see barracks. I usually see this as a bit of a fast castle kind of map, so maybe we'll see some aggression early on. That would be different. But this would concern me for RealTHF. Obviously you can't see it, but just as an outsider, this would concern me because if fire ships or galleys come in here, it can be contested. Sea tower is always nice to kind of ward that off, but it would make the fishing ships a lot more inefficient. But this is good to see. We're on gold now, so he will be producing galleys. Barracks also being produced. Isn't seen by RealTHF, actually. Just misses it by a tile. Range, blacksmith. Okay. Makes sense for Dravidians to go archers. That's usually the opening for them. And it does synergize with a galley play. So I'm expecting some galleys to come out soon. This villager is going to go down to a feudal scout. So great pick off. Might even get the kill on this villager as well. 2 eco kills off the bat for RealTHF, so advantage to him from the beginning. A little bit behind in the production, hasn't started yet, but Chedda hasn't done an immediate start either. Gonna go for Market Blacksmith, which is a little more typical, I would say. And he hasn't done anything with this instant opening of archery range blacksmith, and that's because he's going to go for castle age. So I would have expected market blacksmith for that, but has decided not to go for the aggression, and I think that's the right play. So ultimately, I think that's 100% fine. Going for bid axe. No galleys yet still. We usually see a little bit of galley play in feudal. We haven't seen it at all. We're going to see a bit of a boom. Now, we usually see this quite a lot on this map. People will send one villager out to outposts and houses to kind of get some scouting information, which I like. I like that a lot. So we'll see what this guy gets up to. Usually see a lot of these kind of walls too. Obviously can't wall to the end of the map because of the shallows. But we see walls here as well. And sorry, I know that Back in Black is still in the chat. If you could let me know if your stream is up, then I'll know if I can do a raid later, although I'm running at quite a low viewer count, which I don't mind. I'm not doing it for the viewers, guys. Just doing it for the experience and the competition. Give back to the tournament a little bit. And sorry, yeah, Gossip Girl says it is 200 wood on age up. So that is the wood bonus for Dravidians. Thank you very much. But yes, we're seeing second TC come in here, and he's about 1.5 minutes, if not a lot more. Do you know my lack of attention there? On Castle Age. Man, RealTHF loves his skirmishes, which do fire faster as Dravidians. Supplies. Okay. Supplies for RealTHF. Fine. Wants to go for some infantry, obviously, but again, why? Sorry, I need to have some water. I would advise against going for Elegant Archers right now. They're a very population efficient unit. But when you don't have that many units, you do want to invest it into a cheaper unit, I feel. And guys, we've seen no contest on water whatsoever. Scouts have come in, so he's revealed that. I do prefer this by Chedda, putting the TC away from the water on the gold, as opposed to this TC, which protects this gold and gets the stone, but it doesn't secure any resources here. This scout is keeping an eye on this side. And yeah, just interesting to see what RealTHF does about the revelation of scouts. He does have spearmen with him, so he does have the resources, the military, to counter this, no doubt. Nothing on water, guys. Nothing. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Good job for RealTHF to block this up, because that's exactly where the knight is going. But, guys, another siege workshop? Were you not expecting this from Chedda? Siege workshop, who would have knew? Very expected, I should say. Knight just running through, and again, RealTHF going for another TC. This knight is going to be very annoying, and we'll see how much he can kill with that, and how long it will take RealTHF to respond. I don't think he's noticed. Don't think he has noticed, and he's got 2 kills, and this woodline would be a problem. He's going to try and quick wall it, and I think he's going to succeed, so very well played. These units, while he does this, is going to run into a TC. Scouts on this side, so can RealTHF manage this? We saw on the previous games that he has struggled against, you know, dealing with multiple fronts, and this is through. He has the pikemen, gonna split up the units. He might not even know this is here. This TC is still being put up. Pikemen come in, kill that knight. This scout is still running around. This is so annoying. Chedda is such an annoying player, but he does only have 2 TCs still. 2. RealTHF is 3. Then I will say they're not in great spots, because you've secured stone well and truly. But where are you going to get your long-term gold? Not typically how we see this map played. And maybe this is just not a favourite of RealTHF. You might be much more prepared for other maps. But I feel as though he's not necessarily up to date on the meta for this map. Or maybe he is, and he just knows that Chedda is going to be aggressive, so he's falling back to a defensive style. TC goes up for Chedda there. TC goes up for Chedda there. So he's actually now going to be on 4 TCs. So again, Chedda, the thought process is just, it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's just not something that I can predict, because you're both a really aggressive player and then you fall back to all these TCs. It's like a contradiction of styles in a way. And I'm not knocking it. Not knocking it at all, but I just trying to figure it out at the moment, if you know what I mean. We do have 2 relics for the Lithuanian player. That's going to benefit those knights greatly. This villager, I'm assuming, is going to fill this gap. Yes, she is, with a stone wall amongst the palisades. Sure. Mangonel is going to take out both of those mangonels, while that monastery is up on 39%. Yep, I'd build another monastery, and that's exactly what THF is going to do. Where are these other... Oh, so he's got a relic in here as well. And he's building a castle amongst the gold. I think that's why I'm still really concerned with THF and his long-term gold, because that's exactly what this map is all about. fire ship even coming out for the Lithuanian player. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. This gold is about to expire as well. Like, especially if you're going to elephant archers, which are very expensive. That gold is done. But castle going up to counter this castle, Mangonel needs to, be careful here because it's going to run to the castle fire. Just survives. Another villager going to come for the revenge. Repair decides against it. There's a Mangonel coming over to deal with this. And gets the snipe. Very well played by THF. And if THF can get to Imperial first and get the trebuchets, he can take over the gold and just eke out enough gold to get by. Only 1 on gold. So he's going to have to sell some stone, which he does do, I believe. That is stone, yeah. So he sold stone to get to Imperial. So I think there's still a shot here for THF, but if he loses this battle, then it could all be over. That Mangonel goes down. That Mangonel will also go down, but it is a 2-for-1. Stables coming out. Actually, these Imperial times are very, very similar, so it's going to be a trebuchet showdown. Got knights coming through here, but this has not necessarily been locked down. I would have potentially put something here as well for Chedda. Handcart, heavy plow. So again, THF is a real economy kind of boomer, standard player, relies on that economy to get ahead. Chedda, on the other hand, does it a different way. He is up to Imperial at the same time, but he won't have the same upgrades. These knights are going to find these villages. Oh, you hate to see it. There's so many knights here. But they're going to wall it in. That is so clutch. That is so clutch. And now the pikemen are there as well. Remember, these knights have +4 attack. I would have made that a stone wall because the knights can get through that pretty quick. Whew, that could have been bad. That could have been real bad. Trebuchets immediately from RealTHF. Knights in the back. This pikeman gonna get that knight. This town center is up. Double castle, so doubling down, which isn't a good sign for THF here for maintaining this side. But this side is looking a lot better. He's on wood. No, there's gold there, so that's very good. And we don't see another treb yet for THF. That's going to be a problem. This needs to be repaired immediately if this is to stand any chance of staying up. Two trebs now. Trebuchet coming out, so he might still could just be a 1-for-1. These repairs needed to come quicker. Much quicker. But we don't see any repairs on this side. We're going to see a castle up here. I don't know where these villages are coming from, but it's a long way away because I can't see them. Knights here on that gold, which is a great move by THF. This castle will go down though. And there's a 2 villager castle over here. this trebuchet is going to need to be repaired, which it will. This villager is going to try and take the trebuchet out all by himself. What a martyr of a guy. He dies knowing, with a elephant hoof in his face, knowing that he did the right thing for his country. Gonna have to reenact this repair. Again, very curious decision to build this castle with only 2. The gold is being secured over here with a couple of halberdiers protecting. This is going to have to be microed so that it never dies. Halberdiers coming back again to disrupt, which I love. More halberdiers as well. Again, need to micro that trebuchet repair, or that could be a problem. But it's not going to go down. Well, I say that, but there's a trebuchet there aiming for it. This will produce more trebs, which is much needed. Ting boys over here, dealing with the stables. And this is just an all-out treb war. Might even consider bringing this treb back, although he doesn't want to relinquish this position as he's going for this gold, but this again needs to be repaired. This desperately needs to be repaired. Otherwise it's going to go down. Oh, clutch repair. Is it going to be enough though? There's a lot of stone in the air, a lot of inaccurate stone, I must add. That villager got a rock to the face. These trebs coming out. Again, gonna have to micro this, which he does do. But now the skirmishes are coming through. That's gonna deal with those halberdiers. So we're gonna have to think of something else there. And knight. So this lightest was converted, and that's gonna be great against skirmishes. Keep repairing. Gotta repair it. A lot of stone being sunk into repairing this. RealTHF can actually build another castle if he would like, and this treb needs to go up and start attacking. This mangonel could be huge against these skirmishes. This is hype, guys. This is real hype. As more gold is being mined over there, but this mangonel doing work. Doing real work. That's a clutch mangonel. But this castle needs to be repaired. All these villages need to be on this castle, because it's going to go down. So, both players' castles are down. Another TC, why not, guys? Why not do another TC? Is it needed? Not at all. But, why not? If I was Chit, I'd be focusing on this side, because that's the only gold that he's got. Gonna go for hunt. Okay, sure. The TC's gonna go down. We'd see absolutely no military here left. Gambazins. God, he went for supply. Oh, I guess the halberdiers? Gambazins? Halberdiers? Gonna go for a castle on this side, so he needs to secure this side. I don't mind it at all. I would like to see a roomy swordsman. Not going to see it from this side, obviously, because there's no castles. Gonna see a scorpion, which is just going to roll into death. And it's falling apart a bit here for RealTHF on this side, and I feel like he is thinking about the other side. But this is a lot of wasted resources for Chedda. Just bringing these horses into the side that are just going to run to death. But he's definitely going to pick up kills as well. All those villagers are definitely going to die though. Bracer is in on these castles, so those knights will go down very quickly. Castle going to go up here. And I want to see a Rumi Swordsman. Want to see a Rumi Swordsman here. Has all the upgrades for it. Hold on the trebs for now. Get the advantage on this side. I hate these castles. These castles do nothing. Why not put a castle here? Why are these castles? Terrible castles. This is going to hold the position. Please, a Rumi Swordsman. Trebs are going to deal with this annoying side push. Ballistics are in on this castle, which will kill most of these scouts, which I do love. But he's going full trash. Gravitian full trash. I guess when gold is scarce, it's not a terrible play. You've got to get this Treb into action. You've got to get this army into action. You've got the units to deal with this. Wow, we're seeing Winged Hussar. And these villagers are obviously got a waypoint over there, so just seeing quite slow reactions here from RealTHF, because he's got the units for this. He's got the units. Yep, he's targeting the right units. That's good. I don't mind the targeting of that trebuchet. Treb is going to go down, but these trebs should also go down if he targets them. But target the army. I don't mind targeting the army either. Side push is gone. One villager, solo woodcutter. Who knows how she gets that wood back home to home base? Doesn't matter. But these, you know, you can't leave your skirmishers out to dry. Units on wrong unit. That's critical, guys. That's critical. And you hate to see it, because now all those skirmishers are dead. This is blocked off, sure. Remember, we have the Lithuanian bonus, as these villagers are still walking to their death. So that rally point has not been solved yet. Again, these halberdiers are not in great position. Positioning of this isn't great, and the skirmishers need to be on the skirmishers. These bombard cannons also gone down. You've got to protect the bombard cannon. But the horses are gone now. Got to keep protecting them. Got to get these units into play, because the reinforcements are coming here for Chedda, and eventually the bombard cannon's going to go down. Guys, this could go late. Especially if we don't see the army control finish this off, because RealTHF should have this, in my opinion, because he's got this uncontested over here now. He does kind of have this uncontested, but it might not stay uncontested. These buildings will not stay. I do feel as though Chedda, as much as the unit control has been there, he is sacrificing a lot of units at the same time and using a lot of diversion tactics. Halberdiers are not in the right spot quite frequently, because those bombard cannons go down a lot, but at the same time, these knights are also going down. And this villager putting in work. For those stables that were taken out, they're coming back. They'll be back. Yep, get the production buildings closer. Love that. More diversion tactics. And it's 100% working because all of these units have been taken off the front line. All of these villages are going to go into the town center. There's a lot of idle TC time. Completely taken off gold though. Got 0 on gold. Gonna rely totally on... Well, he's seen this. And Chedda has seen the response. Arumi Swordsman coming in though. Trebuchet is coming in. Does not want this to continue. Need another castle. He's got the stone for it. Need the support here. You can't run into... You can't lose your army to this. It's killing quite a few skirmishes, but not worth. Not worth. Halberdier gonna come in to... No? Alright. That knight will still be an issue then. No? Yep, there we go. That should deal with that. Again, I hate this castle. I really hate this castle. Why not be more aggressive? You know there's no army there. Targeting the bombard cannons, again. No halberdier support, or comes in eventually, yes, but was not there in a timely manner. This bombard cannon needs to be taken out this castle. It is not. The kill to death ratio is climbing up here for RealTHF. He's got a lot more resources in the bank as well. These bombard cannons, man, they're just flapping in the breeze. They're so out of position. He's so out of position, in fact, that he avoids those horses. And this will go down. And this will be pushed back. This is finally coming in. We do have 3 TCs available. 3 trebuchets available to attack. So this gold is under threat. But this gold is now available. So the trading of gold. And what do you do here as RealTHF? That could be a concern. These villagers are also going to die. Okay, sure. He has broken through somewhere. Or he's gone around the back, which is incredibly annoying. But we haven't solved this issue for Chedda. Those horses go down. This has been somewhat neutralized. Nobody's getting the gold on this side. Stalemate. All the production buildings on this side are gone. Gold has been getting here. The 23 on gold, still 0 on gold Chedda. And this is pretty well secured now with all these halberdiers here. And this push has been maintained. Still a lot of food for Chedda, so he still can get a lot of winged hussars. Has he taken these relics out and put them somewhere else? Because pretty sure he had some over here eventually. Yep, make sure you keep your halberdiers on these cannons. It's the only thing you need to worry about. The only thing you need to worry about. You need production buildings over here. ASAP. But yes, we see a big war break out on this side. Monks on halberdiers? Okay. This is not a favourable fight for Chedda. He does have plus attack on these things. But that is not worth it. That is not worth it at all. We're going Siege Elephant as well, which I love. That is fantastic. These trebuchets all going to go down. They've got no desire to retreat, and there's champions in here too. I think they're also affected by Woot Steel. And Chedda calls it because he has got no gold. 0 gold. All you can produce is Winged Hussar, and you're running up against Halberdier. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a great game. And I'll just say again, no water. Nobody contested water at all. Water was a non-factor. An absolute non-factor. This Lightus killed 8 villagers, sorry. When Siege Elephant comes out, you don't need the trebuchets. Yeah. And again, how many TCs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he produced a lot more than that. Because he had a couple over here as well. So potentially 8. RealTHF went for a real corner boy strategy. And, you know, how many farms he's got back here? He's got 47 farms, all in the corner, all protected. Back in Black said, why no skirms with the lighter? Yep. Yeah. It was purely Lightus on that right-hand side. Totally exposed to Halbs. Yep. Yep. XO Gossip Girl says, good game we played. Yes, both players played amazing, as I should actually give the official score win to RealTHF, winning the last 2 games to come back. Very impressive. A lot of fortitude there from him. Yeah, just great game, great play. Cool. Well, that's it. I'm going to say, thank you very much. RealTHF, who just followed. Appreciate it. Played very, very well. Again, impressed by your group play. Impressed by your performance here as well. Good luck in the semi-finals. I'm sure you'll do well, and you should be proud of how far you've gone so far, as should Chedda as well. So, yeah. Back in Black said all qualifying sets are quite close. Speaking of Back in Black, so I believe Back in Black is going to cast both of the remaining quarterfinals tonight. So I will not necessarily be able to rate. I don't think they've begun yet, but I'll just give a shout out to them. Go check out the stream. They're going to be, Back in Black's going to be casting, he says, in 2 to 3 hours. He'll be casting with his friend Liv. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Liv. Both from Romanian guys, a real good bunch of guys. So check out their stream. Check out the rest of the Brick Division quarterfinals. We'll see how that all pans out. And then I believe me, Back in Black, will split up the semi-finals in the following week. So perfect pronunciation. Perfect. Good to know. But yeah, hopefully we'll split up the semi-finals between us and go from there, as we've done here with the quarterfinals, and split that between us. But yeah, love the casting these 2 quarterfinals. Love all these players. They've been fantastic, and I've got a lot of good feedback from all of them. So feeling the love. I'm not a professional caster by any means, but it's good to know that the casting is appreciated. You know, as an amateur, it means a lot. So thank you very much. Thank you. Black and Black says, I would like to be in the semis myself. Well, I cast you said Black and Black, and you were this close. You were this close. You were so, so close. And you played very well, and you should be proud. Even though you didn't make it, I think you should be proud of how you performed. And you lost against an extremely good player in Kafugel, so definitely no shame there. Definitely no shame. He might even be the favourite to win it. He played so well. But yeah, I will leave it there, and I will see you guys in the semi-finals. That's for sure. Looking very much forward to it. Back in Black says, sorry, just before I go, as I like to keep on an eye on Back in Black as in the chat as I'm signing out. He says, I'm disappointed because I don't have another tournament now. There's heaps of tournaments. Isn't Solar, what's his name? Solar Fed or something has a tournament, but I think it's already running. And I did see just another tournament come up through the TTL, like somebody else is organizing it, but they do cross promotion. I think there is a tournament. There's another Discord called Draft Showdown 2. I don't know anything about it. I just was invited to it, but they've got a tournament connected to that. So there are tournaments around. Get on it. Have another crack. And who knows? I might even decide to cast other tournaments as well. So, and yes, thanks RealTHF for following, because I should say, if you haven't followed already, give me a follow for anybody watching, because I will be casting more and more Age of Empires. I'm a bit of a Crusader Kings fan myself. I'm thinking of doing potentially a stream there when the new expansion comes out, but I'm mainly an Age of Empires streamer, and I'll definitely be covering more semi-finals and tournaments. But yes, I've spoken enough, so I'll leave it there. Well played, RealTHF. Well played, Chedda. Great set. Close set. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.